Hello everyone, I hope everything is great. So today we will learn CSS Z index property. What is the Z index and how we can use this in the CSS, and by use of the CSS how we can position the element in HTML. So for this I created one CSS file and linked this file in the HTML file and just create the basic structure and open this file in the browser. So let me quickly add the heading here. So first we will discuss what is the Z index and what is the effect of this Z index. So just assume the stack in normal programming language where one element set into another element, and this flow will trigger for multiple elements. Same behavior will happen in the HTML when one element come over to the second element or other element, and so how these elements are positioned, this can be adjusted, or we can say customized by the Z index property. By default, how they position, so the element that come first will be at the back side, and the element that come at the front side or at the end, that element come on top of the other elements. So we can say Z index basically specifies the stack order of an elements, or we can say that Z order. Instead of stack order, we can say this as the Z order. We can say Z index specifies the Z order of the elements. So let's create one situation here. I create one div with class container, and here I add few divs. Let me copy this and paste it for the 5 times. And just for reference, I add few text here. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. So this way these elements are shown, and same as the content, I add the class. I copy this syntax so it's easy for next element, and I give the same class name here. For second, it's second. For third, it's third. For fourth, it's fourth. And for fifth, it's fifth. Now in CSS, I give div container with position relative, and then I add the first CSS for first, copy this, second, third, fourth, and fifth. This is for fifth, this is for fourth, this is for third, and this is for second. Okay. For first, I add the height property and let me give it to 150 pixel. I add the border here, 1 pixel solid. If I refresh, you can see this is the box created. For this, I create the width. Let's assume 100 pixel, height 100 pixel, and let's copy this CSS and create for third, fourth, and fifth. Now I add the background color, maybe aqua, maybe biscuit, background color, blue, background color, let me use violet. So these are the boxes. First element I position this relative, okay, and second I give the position absolute, and from top I give 20 pixel, from left I give 40 pixel. So if you not aware about the position, we discussed the CSS property position in the earlier videos. I just provide the link of that video in description section. You can check it from there. What type of positions are available in CSS and what is the offset property like top, bottom, left, and right. So here I quickly save this and refresh this thing. Okay, now I give the same thing for third and just increase by 20 pixel. Okay, here I need to give 60, 80, and here I need to give 80 and 100. Save this thing and you can see now here we created an stack like things where first element, then second, on top of it third, on top of that fourth, and at the top thing fifth element comes. So this is the default behavior of the elements. If element comes this way, then the element that comes at the last will be the top, and the element that come at the first will be the at the bottom side of the page. But you can modify or you can customize this flow by use of the Z-index property. It has some default values. Let me add possible values are auto. So by default, it all the elements have Z-index auto. That means they does not have any much difference. The default behavior will be triggered. You can specify the Z index in number. Number can be negative or positive. The elements that have higher the Z index number will come at the top side. So if fifth element have the highest Z index, then it come top side of all the element. If the third element have the highest Z index, that means third element come at the top side instead of fourth or fifth. There are other possible values which are the initial or inherit, that are the global values. So let's use the Z index. So what I did, so by default, all the element have Z index auto. That means all the element come in the default structure. What I did, I add the Z index property for second element and I give the value 1. Save this thing, go to browser, refresh. You can see now my second element have the Z index 1 and other element have the Z index auto. That means second element have the highest Z index and this element will come at the top. Other follows the same default flow. Now what I did, I add the Z index for third element 2. That means my third element will at the top, then the second element, and then other element follow the same rule. What I did, I give the fourth element Z index negative value. So now the fourth element have less than the auto, so the fourth element come below this first element, right? Because it have the Z index minus. You can see the border of the first element come over the fourth element, then fourth element, then fifth element because it have the auto, then the second element because it have the Z index 1, and at the top the third element come which have the Z index 2. So this is all about the gen index property. By this you can specify the stack order or Z order of the elements. When the elements come over to each other, how they are visible in the page, you can manage this thing by the CSS Z index property. So for this video, that's all. If you have any question regarding the Z index of CSS, you can just comment on the comment box. I will definitely provide the answer. And if you like this video, then please like it, share it, and subscribe my channel. For now, that's all. Thanks and